Welcome to the One More Rep podcast, where we take it beyond the barbell. I'm your host, Mo Dingo, and with me, with a fresh to death One More Rep podcast shirt, is Bro Sidon. What's up, man?
Okay, so freaking Sebastian, dude, he walks in the other day and he's like, what's up? He's like, what's up, bro, Cephas? And Sebastian had just dropped in because he had UTA or some sort of training.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm like,
Sebastian, he's in the Air Force Reserves, and he does his drill up here in Dayton, Ohio. So he comes in and visits bro every once in a while.
He's like, what's up, bro, Cephas? I'm like, don't even start that. So Mo's got another bro side. I like that one, dude. Like, I feel like bro pudgy right now, right? Like, I'm gonna like get my workout in.
Don't worry, I got plenty more. Got a long list.
So this is what you do with your retired life, Mo?
But this is all coming from one of our listeners who's helped me with this list.
What?
Yeah. You'll find out down the road who it is.
Oh my gosh. It's not Jenna, right?
No.
Okay.
But
she probably don't even listen to
this particular individual was super excited about helping with this list. So I think there's probably about
I need a new hashtag.
Close to 100 on there.
I need a new hashtag. Guys,
bro names.
I need you guys to help me figure out who's doing this so I can do an episode about them. Or I'm going to do a bro down about them.
Oh, there you go. Want to say thanks. Haven't had a chance to say so about episode 33 with the nutrition basics and those recipes that you guys shout out to us. My favorite one was the one from Monica Christian, the Eggroll recipe. It was like an egg roll bowl.
I like egg rolls.
Yeah, and I'll put a link to that recipe in there just so that way y'all can try out some of that goodness. And she's also started following your nutrition planning as a result of that episode.
Yeah, so it's the first person I've allowed from outside of our gym. Yeah. And it's not like, because actually I told her I was the most nervous about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I've done this I don't know how many times. And
but because she was someone who's a quote stranger.
Yeah, I know her. Yeah. But I mean, it's just a service we offer internally. And I think I'm tracking 14 or 15 like specific people now with her. Yeah. And yeah, so it's pretty cool.
She had the same complaints like everybody else who first starts off. She wanted to eat her arm. Mm-hmm. She wanted to gnaw her arm off because she was dying.
But the reason was it wasn't the food.
She wasn't working out enough or something?
No, it was her timing.
Okay. Oh, yeah, because she's a shift worker, so she has some challenges there.
Yeah, so no, got a report last night. She had her first rugby practice with the new nutrition. Mm-hmm. Let me read it to you because it's pretty good.
Yeah, if Monica, she's a rugby player. She's one of those people that uses CrossFit to augment her rugby, and that's actually a topic we have on the list that we've never gotten to because you guys keep hitting us with all these awesome subjects. But using CrossFit to augment whatever it is you do for your other thing. So but she shot you an email.
Yeah, so we had our 2-week check-in yesterday, and then her first rugby practice was coming up. I was like, please let me know how that goes, how much energy, whatever. And I said, once you start competing again for when you have matches, we'll start loading your food for that. And then last night at 8:30, she said, food was fucking great. And I still have a meal left tonight. Energy was great, and I can still do more. So stuff like that's pretty cool to hear that, it works. But I already knew it worked. Like, it's just whatever.
The actualization that what you're sending them works, even though she hated life that first week.
Yep. But, yeah, we got her straightened out.
So wanted to give you an update on our show reach. We've added 3 countries, Bahrain, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. And we added one more state, Rhode Island. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Rhode Island. Wyoming.
Yeah, Wyoming, however.
Pat McDonald.
Yeah, you need to take care of that, sister. Man.
Like, I don't care if she doesn't listen to the podcast. You make her subscribe.
You grab her phone, you hit like, subscribe, and then share it even.
That's it. We just got to get one. And then we've taken the country over, basically. we're on to the rest of the world.
Yes.
How many more countries do we need to get world domination? There's a lot of countries.
So that takes us up to, give or take, maybe
40?
30. Wait.
We're at 37.
Yeah, that takes us up to 38 countries now.
Sweet.
But Wyoming, come on, man.
We have like...
We have the
United,
Russian Federation.
Right.
We got Bahrain. Wyoming? Come on, man.
Like,
You're right down the street.
Dude, I'm still telling you, they don't have internet. I think what happens, Pat has to send a pigeon. Sort of like Game of Thrones. We're going to send a crow. And so I think maybe by 3 more podcasts, the crow will finally make it there. And then
we'll do a live event. We'll do a live stream when Wyoming finally signs on.
Yeah.
As always, over the past few weeks, you know that we picked up a sponsor, 7.5 Clothing.
Which we just re-upped with.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
We're making badass gear for your badass ventures. We do have a code for y'all to get free shipping. And when you're checking out, just make sure you put the code one more rep, 3 separate words, space them out, and you will get free shipping. And again, like I said, when you log in, I believe if you give them your email, you get an additional 15% off, I think right now, 10 or 15%. And we just ordered a bunch of stuff.
Did you use the free code?
Yes, I did. I might have been the first one.
Yeah.
But got some stuff from my wife, got a hat. Looking forward to take all that stuff with me on the road this weekend.
It's starting to pop up in my gym too, man. So I was telling Mo before he started that one of the members was wearing a shirt yesterday. It was Ray, and I said, oh, sweet shirt. And she was wearing the shirt, and I was like, oh, sweet shirt. And she's like, oh, thanks. I just ordered some stuff from there. And I was like, did you use our discount code? And she's like, what discount code for free shipping? I was like, yeah, well, we have one more rep. She's like, oh, that's good to know. So, just ordered it. I was like, she's like, well, I got 15% off. I was like, yeah, well, you could have saved another $7 like on shipping.
My bad.
Yeah, it's our bad. I won't let Mo go alone on that one. But no, we've been kind of waiting to release the shirts. We've had them for a little bit now. Didn't want to do it because Mo wasn't here. I don't know how he does. He's retired, but I see him less now.
Less than I'm retired.
Right? It makes no sense. I think it was on those where they do those vision quests. Like they do.
I go off in the mountains for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah. So every time I see him, he usually has a beard of some sort. So he's been on his vision quest eating peyote. But
peyote and pine nuts.
Whatever. But yeah. So been kind of waiting on that.
Again, just like we ask you every week, if you go ahead and hit like, leave us some comments, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to use that hashtag OMRFam and Bro's favorite hashtag World Domination.
Yeah, and subscribe to our YouTube, man.
Oh, yeah.
What's cool,
we do have one of those now.
The coolest thing about YouTube, besides seeing me and Mo on video, and seeing some of the looks that Mo gives me after I keep talking, and then he's staring a hole through me, and I look away because I'm just going to keep talking, but I feel it. You guys can see that now. But anyways, is that we can actually see how many subscribers we have, because we have no idea how many we have
for the podcast. And then
on iTunes.
And also they can leave comments directly to that video. Yeah. Also on iTunes, the listeners, they can't comment directly on the episode. So having this with YouTube, people can just fire back immediately, and then we'll always get the email saying, hey, someone left a message. So that's cool that we'll be able to just fire back and forth directly on that platform. So
yeah, let us know if you think it's freaking stupid too. We'll probably still do it because it's another outlet for us.
Yeah, and YouTube is the second most used search engine behind Google. So that's another reason we wanted to try and get on this platform to advance our mission of world domination.
And we're at 15 subscribers, so it's pretty good.
Can we see who this? I know we see the names, but does it do them in order?
No, I can't see the names. It just says 15 subscribed. Okay. If we can see the names, you guys are in trouble, because now we have a hit list. I'll take that by the horns. I'll get the hit list out, and I'll send out my minions, and they won't stop bothering you to click the button.
Fire mission. All right, let's move on to today's topic.
I'm so excited about this.
And so when Bro had the the one moment where he was driving home after we got done recording, all of a sudden in his head, he popped in the one about who defines your success. Same thing happened to me. I think it was in the middle of editing, and just something popped in my head about members leaving gyms. Talked to Bro about it and kind of massaged it back and forth. And I started thinking more about it because I came up with this one almost a month ago because I want to do a lot more research from, some different aspects and get some different resources. But what we're going to talk about today.
Before you get into that, I'm going to let you guys know something. Mo teased me with this episode last week. He did. Messaged me the night before. We kind of talked about what we're going to talk about. And I come in prepared because, dude, this is in my freaking wheelhouse of like top 3 things. And so he's teasing me. I'm coming in last week and ready to record this. And he's like,
I want to do more research.
I'm not ready. I need to do more research. And I'm like, Mo, I got the research in my brain. All right. We got this. I was like, I don't need your show notes. But no, he did a really good job. He sent it to me last night, and it's pretty cool. I think you guys will like it.
So for this one, we're fairly confident we have a very small percentage of owners among our listenership. Current. Yeah. And we truly mean that when we say current, because a lot of the messages that we've been getting are people's talking about, hey, I was thinking about owning a gym, or hey, so-and-so is selling their gym, or
hey, my owner does this.
Yeah. So that leads me to believe that a lot of you out there this is something that's been stewing in the back of your brains for, the potential for you to become an owner. So what we want to talk about today.
Well, you know where owners come from, right?
They come from gyms when they weren't happy.
Well, I'm just saying they come from members, right?
Oh, so members.
Typically, it's a member. It's not someone that used to
comes in off the street
and then starts a CrossFit gym, right?
Unless you just have a whole butt ton of money and you just want to say, I want to.
And then you're a financial backer. You could be an owner, but you're in the day-to-day operations. You're not in the actual training.
In the trenches, yeah.
Yep.
So for this one, we're going to try and give you a little bit of advice before you become that owner. Or
it could be for some of your owners who are secretly listening to us that don't want to admit that they do.
And we're just kind of a long title here, but CrossFit owners, stop driving your members away. And before we get too far into this, we want to put up front that we're talking about behaviors or things that we've seen in our experience. And in my experience, again, I'm not an owner, but mine comes from the experience of being a leader in some pretty large organizations within the Air Force during my career, and understanding and having to be an advocate for customers, internal and external. So this is where a lot of my voice is coming from today, just the basic psychology of taking care of people. And athletes are indeed customers, although this is a business. CrossFit is a business, at the end of the day. You do have to pay bills, but a lot of things that get neglected come, I feel, from how you treat your customers / athletes.
Yeah, and you can't. So Mo sit there and he's like, I'm not an owner. I just got this blah, blah, blah experience. That blah, blah, blah experience is all I had, right? It's all I had. I had my experience. He kind of equated to law enforcement, whatever. Before
and off the mic, we were talking about how I feel about Brody's experience, because he said, well, I don't have a lot of experience, but I argue I argue that being in law enforcement, that's like the ultimate customer service job, because you have to come to some sort of resolution whenever you have an encounter, as a law enforcement officer. You can't just walk away from it. That it's either ended where you issue a citation, or you just give somebody a warning, or you leave the scene once everything's secure, or you're shoving somebody in the back of the squad car. You can't just come up on a DUI and be like, I don't really feel like dealing with this. I'm gonna go take my lunch break.
And then they die.
or they kill somebody else. Yeah.
So he tries to say that, but I think that all of and I've talked about this briefly, all my life experiences and jobs, from being a cook to waiting tables to working with a professional baseball team and being a law enforcement. I've had all sorts of pushing carts at a grocery. I've had them all. I've literally, because I get bored with jobs. So I had a lot of jobs. I remember one year my W-2s, my mom was like, how many jobs did you have this year? It was like 15.
Are you serious?
It was something stupid.
Oh, wow. I think my record's like 4.
But I'm just saying, I get so bored. But that all those experiences and what Mo's saying, just because he's not an owner doesn't mean he can't offer advice. And he always
from the business perspective.
He tries to shortchange himself all the time. And I'm just like, Mo, stop shortchanging yourself.
So, CrossFit as a fitness methodology at its core is a business. That's why it's trademarked. That's why you have to pay an affiliation fee. That's why they go after people when they misrepresent the brand, because it is a business. Fitness is a business. And, from the aspect we're talking today, the customers in this business are your athletes. And
but
again,
you got to separate those real quick, because yes, CrossFit is a business, but they completely separate themselves from me as an affiliate owner.
As soon as you sign that contract and you pay that $3,000, boom, you're cut off. Hey, you can use the two. You can use that word and go on about your business.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Anything affiliated with CrossFit, you have the rights to, but they in no way, shape, or form get involved because they can't, because
it's not a franchise.
There'd be so many lawsuits because everybody does so different. They'd be trying to sue CrossFit for doing something that they shouldn't have been doing, but blame it on. There's so many. Yeah. Obviously, I know why, but understand this: they give you nothing.
They give you they cash your check and they put you on the map, on the affiliate map.
I get 2 emails a year from CrossFit.
One is pay your affiliation fee.
6 months out says, hey, hope everything's going good. If you ever need anything, just let us know.
Love, Greg.
It's not even him. And then you're like, well, fuck, I don't even know how to contact you. I don't, because you can't reply to it. I'm like, I don't even have your contact information. Like, I don't even get that. And then the second one is like, hey, next month your affiliate fee will be coming out. We really appreciate you being part of the family that we just only talk to you twice a year through email. So yeah, that's when I hear from HQ.
And also one of the things we want to clear up is we're not talking about why people stop doing CrossFit.
Oh, no.
We're talking about why people would go from one facility or one gym to another gym.
Yep. Why do they leave your gym?
Now, there are some reasons why people leave the gym that are kind of universal and understood. The military medical move, and for someone who they don't want to do CrossFit anymore. They lost the passion. Their heart's not in it anymore. Those things will happen. But looking at it from a business perspective, have a little infographic from column 5, and it's called The Fastest Ways to Lose Customers. And right at the top, it says 71% of customers end their relationships because of poor customer service. Now, in our space, customer service is what?
It's vital and key. It's every single day. I mean, it's from the time that they walk into the door. Do you say, hey, what's up? Or do you just let them walk in and don't say anything?
Yeah, what's up, Sally? You know their name. Yeah. You know their preferences. You have a relationship with them.
I'm like, bro, you look tired. Like, you want to take a nap before we work out? Yeah. So it starts instantly as soon as they walk through the door, and then it doesn't stop all night. No. We talk about sending 3 a.m. Instagram videos that I found that could be beneficial to them. So it shouldn't stop. It shouldn't stop. Yeah.
Well, from the customer service aspect. Right. And it also went on to point out that for every customer you lose, it's about $3,000 a year. Now, I don't know about you, but how much does $3,000 a year impact your bottom line here and your ability to provide the amenities that you do for your athletes?
Man, I don't know, because our revenue streams are kind of separate. Like the membership amount that we take in is for X. The events and stuff that we hold is for the other side of it. So I keep it separated. Would it impact me? Yeah, we have an oh shit, like
an oh shit fund or an oh shit number.
Oh shit number of members. Like
which is probably good to have and identify that.
Yeah, you got to have that. Like, all right, so this is our, like, if we hit this, it's like it's like your gas light coming on.
Yeah,
and then you hit the next one, it's like your check engine light's coming on, and then you're like, then you're screwed.
All of a sudden, you start hearing the chugging.
Yeah, your car stops running. So yeah, that's identified, and it's to the point where, like, okay, well, we got to tighten up the finances, because CrossFit membership up and down. We initially, I guess, when you first started, Jim, it was one of the things they don't talk about, right? And how
they don't tell you a number that you should charge your members.
It's not just the financial. You gain 2, you lose 2. You gain 3, you lose 2.
The fluctuation.
The fluctuation.
Right.
And, what I found when I first started was, and I was just talking about this with someone, is we actually, after 6 months, we changed our protocol on how we get members when they join. Like, used to be able to sign up online, or used to be able to email me and say, hey, I want to join. And that's how it was. It wasn't working out. We were losing people because it looks cool, it looks sweet, it looks awesome, and then they do it, and it's like they can't handle it.
Okay.
Right? So we changed our protocol, and once we did that, it dramatically helped.
How did that, what were some of the things you were encountering that were, that online onboarding process wasn't effective?
It's sort of like when you're at the grocery store and you're checking out, and that damn Snickers always looks so good.
Especially when you're hungry.
Right, at the checkout lane. Yeah, that was us. We were the Snickers, or in this case, a Reese cup. And they're like, it looks cool. I like the information that I see. I've seen it on YouTube or on Facebook, and I want to do it. And
so it was sexy.
It was sexy. It was an instant buy. And then the commitment that it takes, and then the mental commitment it takes, was just outweighing too many of the people to where CrossFit is for everybody, like I said, but it's also not for everybody.
Agreed.
And that's the problem we have. It wasn't for these people once they realized what it was actually, because they make it look so easy until you do it, right?
Yeah.
And that was the problem.
So you kind of added a filtering process for the protection of you and the potential athlete.
Filtering process first was initiated to ensure that they knew what they're committing to.
Okay.
Right, which is huge. So we changed that. Next filtering process that was put in line was to protect our membership, meaning we're not letting douchebags in here. So if you're an asshole or whatever, I'll filter that out when I meet you. And then our third filter was to, in case I miss something, then they get filtered out through our third process. And since we had done that, and I realized, and that's, I think, that what we can talk about, you have to realize when you mess up, like when something's not going right, it's like you can keep doing it. It's like beating your head against a concrete wall. Like, why are you doing it? Well, I don't know. I've been doing it. You got to change the process, and I guess you don't have to. I chose to because I didn't like that direction. We invest a lot of time into our athletes, about 9 hours of one-on-one training for our training courses. And that's a huge commitment from us. So it's like, okay, if we're going to commit to you, we need you to commit to us, and the fact that you love what we do, you enjoy our people, you enjoy the program, meaning the complexity of it. It's not for everybody, but that's okay. We're not going to cater to everybody. And
you shouldn't.
No. And once they realized that they committed to that, we took that as okay. Now we're one. As soon as you commit to us, you're part of our family until you die. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. And let me kind of rebrand or reattack that. When I say filtering, it's not like it's an exclusive club. Like you're only letting all the cool kids in. You can't sit at my lunch table. It's more of, from your aspect, you were looking at the retention, because once you invested all that time, you wanted them to be a part of your organization from cradle to grave. You wanted to make sure that you caught any potential flags, not necessarily red flags, but just flags in general. Maybe this isn't for them, and you put them through that strenuous process because it's mutually beneficial. They're going to spend money, and it can be it's an investment.
Yeah,
and you don't want them to just go ahead and start throwing money at you only to find out that this isn't the right thing for them.
That's
after 3 months or a year or 6 months or whatever.
Because in all honesty, I tell people this straight up, like 2 months of membership to you from you to me, because that's what they would have to commit to, because we have a 30-day cancellation notification or policy. So I get 2 months out of them. That isn't worth the 9 hours that I put in. That's nothing. And we charge far less what it is for the entire training course, but that's just more of it, part of the piece of the commitment. But my filtration on the other end is we have a great community, and I know, gosh, this is annoying. People were starting to downplay what actual community is. And I guess that's probably one of the things that differ from Stu a little bit is he talks about caring more about your coaches than your community. And I get that sort of, and people talk about, community, this and this and that. But until you've been in our gym, you really don't understand. And it's something that we'll protect from letting a bad apple come in and start killing what we've built.
And not even a bad apple, but the wrong apple.
The wrong apple is, whatever. We're not going to allow that. So it's almost protecting our people through, look, man.
That tribal mentality.
Yeah, I'm not going to let you in here and give your disease to everybody else and start a plague inside something that we've busted our asses to start, maintain, and push for 4.5 years because, unfortunately, I've seen it happen, and it's devastating to your community.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So further on in this infographic, there's another thing that it talks about. It says top 5 reasons customers leave a company. So number 5 is a move. 4, seek alternatives. 3, begin doing business with the competition. 2, dissatisfaction with products and services. And number 1, leave because they were treated poorly.
Right. I would like to add, because I seen his list last night, financial hardship is one of the main things that if we lose a member, it's that. That's the main.
And that happens sometimes.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, we've talked about I've had, I don't know how many financial hardships.
I've been broke before,
Hell yeah. I've been way broke, $30 will last me 2 weeks with no groceries. It's just
and you got to buy gas still.
It's just, it's like scraping change together literally to go and cash it in to get money to put in your gas tank. So I've been there, whatever. So I understand it. And the fact
that's why I used to like the days back when they had VeriSign, because you could write a check and it would float for a couple of days. But now with all the technology, those checks are going through almost instantly.
And, the thing is I get that. And sometimes they can't control it. And it sucks so bad.
You can't, and we're a very military heavy community here. And there's a lot of contractors working with all these defense corporations, and contracts get lost all the time.
I lost mine.
Yeah, I've had plenty of friends who's, we lost the contract. Okay, well, what does that mean? He's like, well, I don't have a job. They don't have another job for you.
What that means is I just lost $60,000, Mo.
Yeah, exactly.
And a family bill that comes up that now their monthly is this braces. That's not cheap. Things that just happen in life that they can't control. They don't want to leave, but then they don't have a choice but to, because they can't afford it.
And I'd argue for the people that are committed to this lifestyle, they're probably making cuts other places before they cut their CrossFit out, because it's so vital to what we do. So kind of looking back over these top 5, I mean, moves, they happen.
Yep,
there's absolutely nothing you can do to control that. Someone might have a greater opportunity to provide better for their family, or maybe they're going to move closer to family,
or back to their home state.
Especially we're heavily military. We're heavy military heavy town here. Seeking alternatives, like I said earlier, sometimes you have a change of heart. You want to pursue weightlifting instead of CrossFit, or you're going to start cycling, or just your heart's not in it anymore.
Yeah, that's a tough one for me, because we want people to do. Most want to do an episode on this where your outside activities, how CrossFit will
branch over
and accelerate those. But I don't know, man. It's I had this conversation with one person since we've been open, just one in our gym, and it's kind of like, I get what you're saying, you want to do this, and this, but it's hard for me to. If they leave because of that, it's just mind blowing. I've never had no person leave because of their other activities, because I don't know if we do everything to make sure they always love CrossFit, because CrossFit isn't just the workout portion, right? It's everything beyond that. And if you don't put that extra effort in, then when those heavy or hard days come in CrossFit, where maybe you're getting burnt out, like on the episode we talked about, little things that outside life is just making you just not like CrossFit as much.
And that's kind of what I'm going through right now. I got a huge life change going on, and I haven't been in the gym nearly as much as I like to.
But transitioning.
Yeah, I just have.
He ain't been in here either. Let me tell you.
I just have things I have to take care of. I have to get a job to be able to take care of my family. And right now it's, it's hard. I'm getting some work in at home, but I still miss being around my people, being, inside the gym. And
that's my point is if you can create something to where there's a super bond between everybody, they shouldn't want to leave you just because they're bored with CrossFit, because everybody at one point in time just gets kind of burnt out on CrossFit in general. They go through these ruts and then, I pick them back up, dust their pants off, but they come back to the community and the people here. So that's hard for me to say, I get it, but I don't get it. Sort of like that last topic we did, like you wanted to do it. And I was like,
visiting other gyms.
Yeah. I was like, wow, why the hell does he want to talk about this dumbass topic? But it turned out to be really good.
Doing business with the competition, I mean, there's some parallels, but I don't really find that a lot.
What's that mean technically?
Well, I think they're talking from a purely business standpoint, where like, let's say you use somebody for your printing and then you found another guy who does the printing better and cheaper and faster.
Oh, then they take offense to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit. That could be tough. I can see that.
Then that's the whole conversation. Well, is it me or is it you? What's going on? Looking for that side chick.
I mean, in all honesty, that's still why we don't have Warehouse 4 as a sponsor. so thanks, Jenna. Still, our cold brew is very low here, but we should do a topic.
Yeah, I actually went there for the first time and saw they just have it make it sitting there on the side in the cafe.
Just makes you want to grab it.
Yeah, I was like, if I could just pick this up right now and run to my Jeep, but I'd probably fall down the stairs.
On the 6 o'clock news, someone wearing a black shirt with yellow writing on it for One More Rep podcast stole the cold brew.
Yeah, stole 55 gallons of cold brew. Going to number 2 on the list, dissatisfaction with products and services.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And I think
we're starting to get in the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, those are the things where. So what's the last time you went out for dinner?
Shit. I don't even know. It's been a long time.
Mm-hmm. How was the service? Was it decent? Was it?
Yeah, and I'm critical.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember when it was, but I'm very critical. Actually, we just went to Chewy's. I'm so stupid. Just last Sunday, but I don't go out that often. Went to Chewy's. Service was okay. Mm-hmm. It has to be pretty piss poor for me not to tip at least 15%.
Yeah.
But I'm also a server, so sometimes as a server you have flexibility on their service being not as good. But then your also standards are a little bit higher as well, so it's kind of like a give and take. It was okay.
When you've been in that position, you look through things through a different lens.
Like, you ain't busy. Yeah. I know that. I need more drink.
Yeah. Now, can you recall the last time you went out and had horrible service?
No, not off the top of my head. It doesn't happen too often. I mean, because typically it can't, because they know that's their livelihood. I'd say I don't know. Yeah, the servers are typically all around pretty good from wherever I go.
What about just a poor customer service experience, like across the spectrum? The one that comes to mind that I know about you is like your internet service.
I was just thinking that. Spectrum, they bought Time Warner. Yeah, they bought Time Warner, man, and so we get internet here, and they come in. And, they have those dumbass 18-hour blocks. You have to be there from like 2 a.m. to freaking 8 p.m. You got to be there. And they can't tell you when they're coming. So I was here for that. No, there's like a 4-hour block. I come in early on my day off on a Thursday, where I usually come in a little bit later, like at 1:30 or 2. And they don't show up. And so call them. Say, yeah, he was there and said he talked to someone. I was like, that's funny, because I'm here. Doors are open. No one talked to me. He didn't want to do the last job of the day is what it come down to, and that kind of pissed me off. And they're supposed to give me the free service call, which is like $100 and whatever off my bill. They ended up charging it, and then they were telling me that they never had this conversation with me, that they're going to remove it, blah, blah, blah. It's just that, whatever.
And the reason why I bring that up, because I didn't ask you about cable service. You were so dissatisfied with that you just you just shared that with me.
Yep.
And
I'm not a big fan.
Yeah. And again, dissatisfied when customers are dissatisfied, they're more likely to share that information than when they had a positive experience. So not only when you offer poor services, you're also in that process creating opportunities for other people to tell you about their bad service, because they're going to broadcast it because people are frustrated. You had to wait here on your day off, technically,
whatever the hell that is.
And you were upset about that because you had an expectation of service. They didn't provide it, and then they jerked you around after the fact.
Yeah, and it's also one of the reasons why we have a podcast that's doing well, because we hear dissatisfied customers, members.
Yeah. So the one I think we can directly correlate to CrossFit is people leave because of the way they were treated or the treatment that they received. I've never really heard of people leaving gyms because they were treated well.
It makes sense, right? Yeah.
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
No.
Same thing with my mechanic or my favorite bar or
hairdresser,
my hairdresser, my tailor, whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I go back to those places because they provide me excellent customer service. They make me want to go back to them because of the experience I have, even if it costs a little bit more money, even if it's a little more inconvenient for me to go, a certain direction, like across town or anything like that, or even if their hours aren't convenient, I will reward them with my loyalty because of what they provided to me.
And it's also what you're comfortable with, right? It's just comfort's huge. Loyalty is huge. I mean, it seems like this day and age, people are becoming less and less loyal, and they just don't care. I don't know what's going on. We got to get this generation going, Mo.
Yeah.
But whatever. That's a whole
world domination.
Calling the herd, man.
But across all spectrums, when you look at even going back to in your childhood, when you had a teacher that maybe said something, and I bet you can remember that teacher right now, everybody listening, that you had that one teacher that made you feel a certain way, and you still remember that teacher from 4th or 5th grade that made you feel bad or made you feel stupid about something. And
I got so many, Mo. I got so many. Man. I mean, I was just telling one of our members, she's a counselor. My counselor, when I was going to go to school, play baseball, and so I go get my transcripts, and she's like, "What do you want these for?" I was like, "Because I need them."
Yeah.
And I'm going to go to school and play ball, and she's like, "You don't need these. You're never going to amount to anything in life." This is my guidance counselor, my school guidance counselor, right?
It sounds like the individual picked the right career path,
bro. No, this is legit. This is legit. So why I have a burning desire and an uncandid like just drive? Because that dumb bitch.
Because of incidents like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'll call her that because that's ridiculous. How can you tell a kid that? You know why she did that? Because people, I was outspoken in school. I was never disrespectful. I never fought. I never did anything like that. But because I thought it's stupid that they sit there and verbatim out of a book and not challenge or engage anybody but their favorite students, I had an issue with it. And then it's like, why do I even want to be here is the mentality, like sort of like the gym. Like if you're getting neglected and you're not being trained and they're not saying hi to you or initiating conversations with you, why do you want to be there?
When you're treated like a number.
Yeah. Why do you want to be there? And that's how I felt. And this is what drives me, Mo. I'm not joking. Like to this day, it's the biggest chip on my shoulder. Like here I am, I have my own business and you're nothing. That's what I think. You're nothing because you are in the same spot, being the same piece of crap, running their mouths about kids behind their back.
Probably treating kids the same way.
Absolutely. She ain't going to change until she dies. And then that's on her.
And then, similar situation for me. The reason why I had such drive and determination during my military career is early on people told me, well, I don't think you got what it takes, without even knowing me. And I took that as a challenge. I'm going to prove these people wrong. And I outlasted, and all those people that put me down like that, I actually exceeded the ranks that they were at, when they were in those positions. So, I'm not always proud of the fact that I took that Tom Brady revenge tour mentality, because there were some times when I got a little bit too I got a little bit too focused on the anger, but I succeeded. But I also learned to quell that a little bit and make sure that I never made anybody feel the way that I felt when those people were telling me that I wasn't going to be as successful airman.
Dude, it was so bad that she had submitted that I was not eligible to graduate from high school, and I was supposed to go to my walkthrough for high school. My mom calls, says, well, what can we do? Like, is there classes or something? And my principal says, what are you talking about? So she goes through. She's like, he has more than enough credits to graduate. But this is what she did.
Just because.
And if I'd have missed that, I couldn't have walked. I couldn't have graduated. I couldn't have walked with my class. Yeah. And whatever. So stuff like that, yeah. You can say, oh, you're on Get Back. Yeah, I am on Get Back. I'm going to prove you wrong. And then everybody else that gets in my way, I'm going to steamroll, because that's my mentality. Like, you don't think I can amount to anything because of what? Because of what you think about me? Are you kidding me? I'm going to show you what's up. And then I'm going up the ladder. And guess what? I'm passing them, and then they stay there to the day they die because they're too scared to do the things that I'm trying to do and that I am doing. They're too scared to even think about what I'm trying to do.
Because it's easy to just stay where you're at.
It's so easy to stay where you're at and fall in that rut and just become the cynical, hateful, mean person and just talk down to others behind their backs. For what? Because you're jealous. You're jealous of what they're getting to and what they're achieving that you can never, ever even touch.
Like I said before, the crab mentality, pulling other people down to be at your level.
And that's why I eat crab legs, Mo. I love me some crab legs.
So now let's get on the second part of this topic. And we're going to just 10 simple ways to show your customers you care. And this article came from Inc. magazine, and it was written by Rhett Power. So number one, remember your customer's name. That's pretty simple. I think in CrossFit, that's pretty much standard. Your coaches know who you are, unless you're a new person or you're in a class. But with social media and everything, like in my coaches group, in my members group, whenever someone's new, they post their picture up. Everybody says hi and welcome. So it's but even if I've just seen them in the group, I'll still introduce myself the first time I see them. Hey, I'm Mo. I usually coach this class. I probably might not see you too much, but hey, welcome to the family. If there's ever anything you need, hit me up, blah, blah, blah.
And that's why I think when we're capping ours at 120 for a lifetime, because I don't want to lose that. I can't imagine walking in not knowing
a member,
things about them outside of the gym and what's going on, and then everything about them physically.
Remembering your customers' preferences. Now, that doesn't mean you can underload your bar when we're trying to max out. But I think along with those lines, I know who my athletes are that will underload. I'm like, hey, let's go and put some 2.5s on there.
Man, I'm telling you, the ultimate radar detection when people are trying to underload. Yeah, I do. And dude, I'm not kidding. I don't know how I do. I really don't. This is one of those.
It's your superpower.
It has to be, because we have percentages on, okay? And then so say we're doing our clean, and our clean percentages, or no, it's not clean. So say we're going back squat, we go 3 at 90, and then we go 1 at 1.025%. And a lot of people hate that jump from 90 to 1.025 mentally, even though we've just loaded their system with triple at 90. They're moving more weight at 90%
than they are
for the one rep.
Yeah.
So they don't. So I explained this, and then dude, my radar, it just like bink, it goes off. That motherfucker put 95% on their bar, Mo. I say, I don't even know how I know this. I said, what's your max? And they're like, they start looking around. I said, what's your max? And they tell me because
they can't think fast enough to lower the max to correlate with what's on the bar.
So I'm like, hold on. So I go over, I'm like, what was that? Okay. And I'm looking down the chart, and I go over, I'm like, that's 95%. What are you doing your 95 for? Well, I just wasn't comfortable making the jump. Oh, really? That's cool. Hey, hey guys, listen up, class. Sally here, she knows a lot about weightlifting to where she wants to make her own training program, and she has a proven method and strength. So she's going to do her own program. From this point on, we're going to follow her program and just do whatever we want. Okay?
No, but everybody's like, yeah, I'll do 95%.
Yeah. I'm like, no. Like, it's like someone, when you're maxing out and they're going for a PR, what's supposed to be a PR lift, and they hit it and you're like, yeah, hell yeah. Like, I'm pumped as a trainer. And I said, well, what was your max? They're like, 250. I'm like, That was 250. Well, you just did 250. What are you doing 250 for? Like, why do you? We already know you can do 250, Mo.
Why are you retesting your max?
Yeah, like fail below or fail after.
Yeah,
we're not retesting that crap.
Next one, invite them to enjoy special customer events, which I think, well, okay, let me go ahead and use your famous word, should. Gyms should be doing things to share time with their athletes outside of the gym, whether it be golf outings or barbecues, or, I think the Open is probably a time when some gyms will have some extended opportunities.
Once a year, that's ridiculous,
but
right? Yeah, you know what I mean? Do you want your people to be close? Do you even give a damn? Right? That's what it comes down to.
Or do you value that? Do you understand the power of something like that?
Guess what? Yeah, and if you don't value it, now you can't wonder why people are leaving, because you know what? People want that. Mm-hmm. We've talked about so many times. CrossFit is just not.
It's not the 60 minutes.
It's not the 60 minutes. It's that the relationships they build, the friendships they build, the camaraderie they build, and then if that's all just built around CrossFit, that's a weak foundation to me. Mm-hmm. It's got to expand outside of CrossFit, meaning those relationships need to build at where we're not. You want to have an event, don't work out. Let's just show up and hang out and eat some food and drink beer. Like, It doesn't always have to be a workout. It doesn't always have to be at your
fitness
CrossFit.
Related, yeah.
It doesn't have to always be at your CrossFit gym. It doesn't always have to be, oh my God, let's just show up in our costumes and work out. Just like, why can't we just have a party? Mm-hmm. Why do we always have to work out?
Why can't we go watch a movie?
Right. Yeah. Like we watch movies. And, but yeah, you're right. Like, if you want that, you gotta create it.
Yeah.
Gotta create it. It takes time and effort. And I think that's why people stop pursuing it, or what owners are now doing. They're putting members in charge of it, and then they're pissed about the results. Like, it's just, whatever.
So 4 and 5, I think we can kind of combine, take a personal interest in your customers and also support their businesses. And
God, yeah.
I think, for you here specifically, one of the things that pops to mind instantly is Old English Outfitters. Like, you guys had that big event with them a couple months ago. Mm-hmm. And just, and Evan, he's in here all the time supporting you, and conversely, you support him.
He's one of our trainers.
Yeah.
So, that's not why. I tell them all the time. And then I was like, bring your flyer in here and hang it up. I was like, we want our people to go directly to them and buy. Their small business. They've been around. This is, I think, second generation. They're going to go on their third generation.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
And, that's what I tell people. Like, if you have a good community, network within your community for things. You have HVAC people, you have mechanics, you have painters, you have gun owners, you have all this stuff that you can actually go to. And does that mean go, hey, what's up, man? I want a discount. Like, it's not that. It's
just supporting the people in your community.
Because guess what? That's what you're doing for me. I'm a small business. Every dollar that comes into me is put for good use. Every dollar that goes to them is being put for good use. So network within.
And you'd be surprised if you just shoot out something in your member group, because most gyms have a member group. Say, hey, I'm looking for someone who does can paint cars. And if someone in your community doesn't know how to do that or has that skill, they know someone that does.
Yep.
Next one is solve their problems. I think we kind of do that as owners and coaches to a certain extent, because they have, they want to achieve a certain skill. They want to get a certain load moved. It's kind of what we do here.
If you're a coach and you don't problem solve, what are you a coach for? That's what it is. It's problem. It's seeing something, be able to find the issue, know how to correct the issue, know how to explain to them what the issue is, then explain to them how to correct it and the benefits. That's the process of seeing a broken lift.
And then even with our coaching episode, that kind of ties into that keep your promises right here, which is number 7. So solving your problems and keeping your promises. Like, I think I talked about, like, I've seen athletes move a certain way and I'm like, they're doing something wrong. I don't know what it is. I'm going to help you fix it. Let me get back to you, but I got to make sure I get back to them. Whether it's by going to get another coach, showing them videos at 3:00 in the morning on Instagram, or giving them written products from books, or, hey, go check this out type thing.
You just don't be that dumbass that makes something up. Because guess what? They will find it on social media and be like,
they lied to me.
Mo. Every day I watched 80 videos and 80 videos said that what you said was wrong. Like,
81 out of the 80 videos said you were wrong.
Yeah.
Another one, pretty plain and simple, number 8. Remember the magic words your mom taught you. Please, thank you. Those types of things. You know, when I am having athletes move, like, hey, could you please move those weights inside the rig? You know, hey, thank you for, hey guys, thank you for moving quickly. Just, it's simple, really simple.
My please is they get used like once or twice, and then it's like, okay, are you guys are you punking me? Like,
are there cameras around here?
Like, are you trying to piss me off today? Because I've said this now, all your weights need to be to the side of you when we're lifting. They can't be in front in case you hop forward, because you're notorious for hopping forward, which drives me nuts. Anyways, I need them put to the side, right, for safety. And then guess what? I say that and make an announcement, and then someone else does it. I'm like, Mo, I don't know what I'm going to do here, because I know they heard me, and those weights weren't there. So I think they're doing it just
on
to
purpose.
Yeah, they try to get me fired up like you do with some questions.
I know this won't get you fired up, but number 9, give back. With my gym at AKP, we collect cans every weekend whenever we do our community workouts, and we take that to the food bank. In the fall and winter, we'll do like a coat drive, and when we do some in-house events, we'll take some of the portions of those proceeds and we'll donate it to something that we all agree on. Yep.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. But I can get fired up if you want me to. I can go that direction. I got one right in my head. It's fresh. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go for it. It's cool when you try to give back, and we love to give back as a gym as much as possible. We can't support every single thing that goes on, but recently I tried to give back anonymously, okay? And when I tried to give back, people were talking smack when I tried to give back, Mo. And I didn't want anybody to know about this, because here's the situation. We're going to have a competition. I was going to take a percentage of our total net of after I paid the fees.
Your expenses.
Not my expenses.
Oh,
just
your overhead stuff.
The fees to the WOD rocket.
Okay.
So I wasn't, I pay my fees, and we're only talking, $500 or whatever, $300-500. Take that percentage, donate to this person's charity that I truly believed in, contacted them privately, found out what it was, wanted to get the information. Boom. This was for our last event, because I really appreciate what they're doing. My last event prior to Smash Fest, this didn't do well. It really is our smallest event. It's going to equate to like $100 donate, $80 to $100 donated to a charity. And I'm sitting here like, well, to me, that's not I'll go get that out of the bank. I want to make a substantial donation, 500 plus out of this. So I sent the message saying, hey, blah, blah, blah. I want to push this to my next event. It's always it's our second biggest event. I know I can raise more money. And they fire back. They're like, well, I don't understand why you just didn't donate the $80. I can't believe you didn't do it. You went against your word, blah, 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 blah. I think that's kind of messed up when you try to do something like that, and then people want to it takes the enjoyment out of it, right? It takes the complete joy out of doing something you wanted to do, and then they ruin it. It's like giving someone a gift that they weren't expecting, and they're like, "Oh, I don't like this color." I don't like this color.
I don't like chocolate.
You know what I mean? It takes away, because I love to give as much as I can, and I hate to receive.
Yeah, and I'm kind of the same way. I don't like my retirement ceremony. That was a hard thing for me, because I don't like being the focus of attention, and it was really hard for me at times during that ceremony to listen to people say stuff about me, and I'm like, God, shit.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah,
you could tell. I was saying that to some people when I was watching. I'd say that'd be really hard for me to do, because I know how you are. Yeah. Like, to hear people speak highly and positive of you.
It's hard, because it's not me. It's not what I'm looking for.
I don't look for that satisfaction, but when people talk smack, Mo, I get really fired up. So what am I? Like, I'm kind of messed up. Like, so I get really upset I care when people talk smack to a point.
Yeah.
But then when they say good things about me, I'm like, stop saying that.
Yeah.
Like, I become embarrassed little schoolboy. Like,
all right. And the last one we have on this list is ask for their feedback. A lot of times customers can point out blind spots. The customer are the people that are keeping your lights on. Give them the opportunity to feel like they have a voice. Again, not change the direction. That's completely different. But, ask for their honest and open feedback. You have to create channels where that way they feel like they can come to you with any issues or concerns, and that you're going to, at a minimum, just listen. Don't be fake about it and say, hey, give me your feedback. And as they're giving you feedback, you're like checking your text messages or checking your email. Shut everything down. Get in a nice private area and look at them in the eye.
Oh, dude, thank you for saying that.
And let them share with you what it is they want to say. And at that point, it's your job to listen. Don't interrupt. Just take feedback. Just listen. And whenever I've had situations like this, I like, hey, I'm listening to you, but I just want to write some things down. Is that okay? Because sometimes people don't want you to write stuff down or whatever. Mm-hmm. But for me, I'm old. I have a lot of head trauma, and I have a hard time remembering things. So that's why I write stuff down.
Man, and before I really go off the deep end on this one, I think the biggest thing you said is like, you have to ask these questions, and you want this customer service almost survey or member survey. Gyms don't do it. The gyms that don't do it are the ones that are doing it wrong, because I'm not saying you have to do it all the time, but there should be some sort of guidance of like, get your bearings, right? And then if you're going to do that, you better ask the tough questions. Like, you better ask in this survey, and it better be anonymous. It can't be, if
someone wants to come and talk to you face to face, that's one thing. But creating a survey, like electronic survey, where it says, "Well, mandatory, put in your email, your phone number."
Yeah, like
then it's not random.
No, it's not, and you're not going to get. Well, I think the biggest thing, you won't get honest answers, because
Some people will give you honest answers regardless, whatever barriers. But I think
most won't.
But I think where it's important is those people that are reluctant to speak up. They sometimes will probably have the best feedback. Of any feedback that you can get. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, man, when we run them, it's very nerve-wracking to wait to.
Well, it's because you care.
Well, it's like, your passion's there, but you're like, sometimes you're like, man, what the hell was that about? Like, I don't understand why they do this. And I used to be like, well, I wonder who said it. I'm like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It don't give a damn who said it, because you know what? I sent it out. I asked.
You asked for it.
I asked for it. Like, it's like when people come here, they're like, "Oh my God, these workouts are horrible." I'm like, "Oh my God, you pay for this." You asked for this. So, but yeah, you got to get those surveys out. Or if you don't listen, like Mo said, if you don't look your members in the eyes, and you're sitting there cross-armed, or you're just defensive and just like in and out, when someone's listening, when someone's not, at least I do. And if you're not giving them full attention, man, I tell you what, you want to talk about starting something bad, that's going to start bad, because now you're talking, that's going to start right at the top with you. Because I'm going to tell you straight up, if you are on your phone, if you are ignoring them, if you're
looking at your watch,
if you're interrupting them, if you're defensive, if you're not looking them in the eye, because that's a respect thing. If you have your arms crossed, if you're doing all this,
tapping your foot,
oh my gosh, rolling your eyes, making a size, if you're doing that, and they're going to go right back to your membership, and they're going to tell them about that experience, because now they're pissed, because they should be able to come. People know my door is always open. Now, granted, they also know that if they come in the door,
got to come correct.
I will tell them how I feel about something. If we don't see eye to eye, that's fine. Yeah. But I'm going to listen to everything you say, but I'm going to tell you exactly what I feel. And that's a personal conversation between us. It's not me. It's not me being a dick. I'm saying, okay, cool. I hear you. Okay. This is the direction or why, which this rarely happens. And it's not because they think I'm going to beat them with a stick. I don't think, but maybe they do. But yeah, so you got to have that open communication, because if not, what's the
point?
How are you gonna progress as a gym? How are your members going to respect you? How are your members going to even look up to you? How are your members going to talk positive about you? How are your members going to just just love to check in here and tell all their friends to come in and try it out. And because we know the biggest revenue stream comes from word of mouth.
Yep. You can't pay enough for that advertisement.
Nope. And you just screwed that up, because most said that statistically one person is worth $3,000 whatever dollars. Now, what happens when that one person tells 2 people, then those 2 people tell 4 people, and those 4 people tell 8 people? Because now we're talking, you're getting in the teens. Now you're going to take that 10, 12 people times that by 3, because that's who you just lost. And guess what? Yeah, you can get new members in, but I was telling Mo, man, we get members from other gyms, and I can't believe we get these people. They're the most awesome people, huge parts of our community. I can't imagine my life without them in the gym. I can't imagine not knowing them. And then here they go. They let them go because of what? Pride, ego, not willing to listen, not giving them what they need. I mean, these aren't bad people. I won't let bad people in here. Like, they're the most genuine people. Like, I literally can't. Some of them are now pillars of what our community is, because they've been with us so long. And to remove one of those pillars would be devastating, not to me, but to our community. And that's so important to us.
And I think to wrap all this up, the one thing that I think you and I will both agree on the positive and negative aspect is really hinges around how people feel, how you made them feel.
God, yeah.
And I want to just give a little quote here from Maya Angelou. It says, "I've learned that people will forgive you for what you said. People will forgive you for what you did, but people will never forgive you for how you made them feel."
Dude, absolutely. Yeah. Shit. Man, that's legit.
It's a very powerful statement. It's very simple.
It's right. We keep referring back. It's so simple to make people happy. Do the small things. The small things equal big things. The big things equal happy people. But that's right, man. It's like, you can be, we've talked about this in the confrontation portion. You can talk to someone about a hard topic, a hard issue, without being disrespectful. And I think when you start crossing that line of disrespect, then that's when these things happen. And that's why people end up leaving, because they're trying to give you valuable information that they're
trying to share something with you.
Large corporations pay a lot of money to get someone to come in and see what the pulse is of their corporation. They pay all this money to get it. This person on the lowest level, as far as we're being a smaller business, is trying to give you this information for free. And you're ignoring it. And not saying, like we said, you don't have to, it doesn't mean it's right.
It doesn't mean you have to change everything.
No, but it's still their opinion. If you don't value them as a person that is paying you as a customer of your service, then you run that risk of getting a bad name, them leaving, and then not only them leaving, all those people they tell you about their meeting with you, because people see it. Your door's closed. They're like, what was that about?
Yeah.
Well, he was a dick. Is what that was about, right? It's pretty simple.
Yeah. All right. So this week's call to action. We'd like you to share this episode with your friends who are in a role that involves customer service, and have them tell us what we missed. If there's any golden nuggets that they have about how to take care of people, or just anything that you feel you can augment, this kind of lesson that we just had in customer service, essentially.
Tell us something as a customer that bothers you.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, if you're a member, which most of you are, you live it every day. What irritates you that, like, hey, I am a member, I do pay for this, and you failed to remember that I am paying you, that I don't have to be here. I'm under no obligation to be here.
I voluntarily giving you money.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tell us what frustrates you as people, as customers.
And once again, thank you to the One More Rep fam.
And, you guys are there.
For getting us over 10K.
10.3.
We're at 10.3 right now. Huge shout out to 7.5. Thanks for getting the swag together. Yep. And are they for sale yet?
They will be.
They will be by the time you listen to this?
Yeah. They will be. Really, I think he's just waiting on us to do the pictures, the announcement of it, and he's ready to print.
All right, so by the time you listen to this, they should be ready for sale.
They're definitely going to be ready for sale.
And make sure that you use that promo code One More Rep, 3 separate words.
It's on the damn shirt.
To get free shipping. But last but not least, we want to remind you guys that you're the reason that we're expanding. It's not the three of us. It's not me, bro, and Jenna. It's you guys sharing the show, talking about the show, putting it in your social media feeds and talking about it at work and in your gyms. So thank you very much. I mean, unfortunately, that's all we can really give you right now is
we
thank you.
Everybody but Wyoming. Wyoming. I know you can't hear me because you ain't listening. So when you do, then shame on you for taking
so long.
7 months, almost 7 months to listen to the best CrossFit podcast in the land
in Ohio.
And we weren't given this ranking. I have given us that ranking, and I will use that hashtag that we are the best until someone says something, and I'm like, well, we are. So.
Yeah, prove otherwise.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Because iTunes don't give you any data.
What's up, Rich Phonian and friends?
All right, that brings this week's episode to a close. I'm Mo, and I'm out.
See you guys
later. Thank you for listening to the One More Rep podcast. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at One More Rep podcast, or on Twitter at Can I Get One More, or shoot us an email at canigetonmore@gmail.com. Owners, stop driving your members away. Can we put the word CrossFit in there somewhere? That's what I've been trying to do lately. Is whenever
absolutely.
we can.
I think so. Because
trying to put CrossFit in the title of the episode.
Weightlifters are like hermit fucking crabs. They are. Like they're in their little shell, and then they're happy that they're in their little shell, and they just like to hang out there.
Yeah, they just sort of sit off to the side, letting their heart rate get
I mean,
down.
how much